When you think about it, any card game that's been around for over 20 years is bound to be steeped in controversy. Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and I hope that you are having a great day. In today's video, I wanted to sit back, relax, and have a conversation about the Pokemon trading card game. And specifically, I would like to talk about my top 3 controversies involving the Pokemon TCG over the decades, because believe it or not, there have been some pretty zany things to happen, some more fun to talk about than others. And in this video, I would just like to talk about the 3 that I think are maybe not necessarily the most insane, but the ones that I enjoy talking about the most. Now, it is no small secret that a lot of early Pokemon card art was changed from its Japanese version to its English release. And this was because Wizards of the Coast felt that a lot of this art was inappropriate for their audience. And there's a lot of examples like Grimer, Koga's Ninja Trick, Misty's Tears, some other small things here and there. But the one that I like the most, the one that I think is the funniest, is the card Sabrina's Gaze from Gym Challenge, I believe. The original Japanese version of this card shows Sabrina holding a Master Ball up, and the English release shows her throwing a Pokeball at her opponent. And you're never going to believe this, but the reason they changed this card art was because they thought it looked like Sabrina was giving the middle finger to the viewers, which is absolutely wild to me. Like, I don't have to explain that, you know, flipping someone the bird looks like this, not like this, but I suppose Wizards of the Coast disagreed with, I suppose, the official version of the middle finger, and for that reason the card was changed. And when I think to all these censored cards that have happened over the years, this one is still the one that comes to mind, and it's the one that makes me smile the most. This next one, I feel like, is one that used to be pretty well known and talked about in the community, and has just kind of faded from the spotlight. And maybe that's because recently it's completely resolved, but I feel like this is still one of the craziest things to ever happen to any TCG. You see, back in the year 2000, a stage magician named Uri Geller sued Nintendo over the Pokemon Kadabra. And he claimed that the Pokemon was made in his likeness, and that it caused notable damage to his reputation because it was associated with a satanic game and all that jazz. And to his credit, Kadabra is a Pokemon that bends spoons. Uri Geller was known for bending spoons as part of his magic trick. Kadabra's Japanese name was Young Geller, which is suspiciously similar to Uri Geller. And honestly, that's all that was necessary for the litigation to go forward. Now, if I recall correctly, the first attempt at a lawsuit was actually dismissed by the courts back in 2003. However, there had not been a Kadabra card since then for several years, with Skyridge, I believe, having the last Kadabra card up until recently. And the reason for that was because while the initial case was dismissed, Geller kept trying. He kept trying to sue Nintendo over Kadabra, which is why for the longest time, whenever Abra and Alakazam were printed in a Pokemon set, you wouldn't see Kadabra in that set. Again, up until very recently. And the reason Kadabra has started popping up again is because in the year 2020, Geller finally just dropped the whole ordeal, saying he was very sorry, that he's received loads of mail from fans asking him to drop the lawsuits. And overall, it seems like, in my opinion, maybe he's finally realized that a 20-year legal battle against Nintendo was probably not the best use of one's time. And I've just got to say, I do respect the man who did decide to go through with 20 years of litigations, but man, for me, I would have given up maybe around like year two. So if you're a lawyer out there and you're trying to pressure me into something, just know that I'm an easy victim, I guess, but Geller ain't. So finally, we have a much more recent bit of controversy, and I don't know if controversy is the right word for it. It definitely got some buzz online when it was first revealed that in the Pokemon Go set, there would be 3 special cards, Numel, Spinarak, and Bidoof, that would actually not be those 3 Pokemon. Instead, they would be a Ditto card with those Pokemon stickered on top. And you could tell it was a Ditto by a little Ditto symbol in the bottom left corner of the card. And for me and a lot of other people, this was just a really fun little, I don't know, treat for those Ditto fans who were looking to spot their favorite Pokemon in the wild actually disguised as another Pokemon. And the fact that they used kind of peelable sticker card technology to do this was just really neat. But there was some buzz about it because I believe the Pokemon Company had clarified that you could not play these cards as their top card. You had to treat them as the Ditto they were underneath. And some people online didn't like that. They liked the idea of playing a special version of Numel or Spinarak, for instance. And I get that, I really do. But overall, it ended up being just kind of a nothing burger with people quickly moving on. After all, Pokemon Go was not the hypest set of all time. And while I do personally think these peelable Ditto cards are really cool, really nice collectibles, I should probably go around and grab some at some point. Ultimately, I just think the fact that Nintendo Pokemon did such a little cool thing is just nice. You know, whether or not everyone liked the overall rulings for the playability of the cards themselves, you can't deny that, you know, hiding Ditto in that way, it's just really cool. So there you have it. That's the video. That's really all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And if you did, go ahead and leave a like, share the video with a friend, subscribe to the channel, comment, all that good jazz. And remember, your uncle needs to get healthy. So for every like this video gets, I'll be doing a push-up in the next one. I'll see you kids then. My last video got 32 likes. That's 32.